Yeah, like you obviously we had more ball than we probably would get normally against a top 10 team. It was physical, so they were looking to big hits in defence. They were looking to jackal at times, so we had to get our contact area spot on. And there's probably a high ball in play, so it would be a good test for our fitness. I thought the effort tonight was outstanding. Stafford mentioned the exits, which is just one part of it, of having that mindset that we're doing our job. But then the effort after the kicks and the tackles that went in really stopped USA getting into the game, and we sometimes got turnovers from that. I think maybe Duan's try came from one of those occasions, and I was really pleased with the end. So yes, of course, next week will be a different opposition, one of the top teams in the world, but what we worked on in training, we got that out against a different opposition, so it's a good start to the campaign.
Does it create a challenge, Greg, in terms of intensity? I mean, there's going to be a huge step in intensity. Does it create a challenge that there's maybe a bigger step than if you come into off the back of a closer game?
Perhaps, but everybody's aware that the step up next week. You create your own intensity at training, and our players did that this week. Like, if you think about the team that started tonight, who they would have been training against during the week, there were some of our most capped players going up against that team, and we had a real physical session on Wednesday, and you just got to deliver your actions, your performance, regardless who the opposition is. But we obviously know New Zealand are going to test us in different ways than the USA weren't able to do tonight.
Okay, some of those individual performances giving you some welcome additional selection decisions to make?
Yeah, they will. Obviously, we want our players to play as well as possible, and I'm sure there'll be people tonight wishing they were playing, because playing for Scotland's the ultimate, but also just the way the game went. Other people were able to get on ball and show their skills, and yeah, we've got to look at tonight's performance. Got to look at where we were coming into this tournament, how guys trained at training, how they performed at training this week, because part of next week's performance and us getting it right is a cohesion that we've built up over the last 2 or 3 seasons, but also what we see in training from players that have either came in or just had an opportunity in recent months to come into our squad and perform at a high level.
For a debut performance, you can ask for much more from Liam on both sides of the ball.
He was excellent, and you know it's very difficult to do that in your first cap. My first 10 minutes, my first cap was a nightmare. I missed tackles and was all over the place, and to deliver your strengths, which Liam has many, his work rate, his speed, his defence, but also his attacking games really came on this year with his little tip passes, where it's evasion and link play, and he managed to be that set piece blindside flanker at that line out time and get a couple of steals. So he had an excellent performance, and he showed his fitness by being one of our best players in the last 10 minutes as well as the first 10 minutes.
Gregor, you talked about picking Liam partly on the potential that you see in him.
Yep.
Has he shown that he can maybe be somebody for the here and now as well?
Yeah, he's confirmed what we thought around his potential growth and how he can bring more than just one aspect of the game, which is now what we're expecting of forwards. And they've got to attack and defend really well. And he showed his physicality, showed the effort that he put into the performance, and that's put a marker down for others that may get the opportunity next week to say, look, here's someone just in his first cap is delivering that performance. But also for us, we know now we've got someone really competing hard who should grow even more over the next year or two.
Stafford talked about Lee. How pleased is he, and how pleased are you with keeping him to 0?
Yeah, he obviously for the first game was international coach with Scotland and not have too much to worry about. I think he was delighted by the effort. Some of the things we're working on defence are different than when Steve was in charge of that area, and we saw some of that tonight. We've seen it at training too. I felt the players really adapted to what he's asking for them, and we'll have another couple of training sessions next week, and then we'll have a really big test against a quality side.
You just check you got through that without any injuries?
Today,
Yeah.
well, Adam failed his HIA. He did have a little bit of a knee concern when he was involved in that collision. So it'll be the normal protocols for Adam. The other guys we took off at half-time were tactical, not injury.
How about Harry Morris? What did you make in the 50 minutes or so?
I thought he was very good. He was controlled in his actions and was still able to bring that physicality that we know is a big strength of his. Had a couple of really good liner throws, caught a high ball. So just having that belief to say, well, this is in my area, I'm going up for it. And right at the end, an off the ball running line created a hole for Ollie Smith to go through, and Ollie did very well to finish. But yeah, to come on and deliver that performance and get your running lines right, get your set piece right, shows how well he prepared. And yeah, he's another one with a big future. He's a bit older than Liam, but whenever we've seen him play, he's delivered that level of physicality and he's suited to test level, but also he's really grown as a hooker.
Are the two of them now? Are they on cloud nine?
He seemed good. Like they've just had presentations. Ewan Ashman presented Harry with his cap in the changing room. Both of them spoke well, and then Magnus presented Liam, and they just thanked the players for being so welcoming, making it so easy for them this week. And it's a good place to have your debut here at home and a winning performance.
How much are you just looking forward to getting into a test week, knowing that it's the All Blacks waiting next weekend?
Yeah, I can't wait actually. It's we don't get to play them that often, and we've had a couple. I think we've only played twice in my time, and they were both great occasions, very good games, and we know we have to be close to our best to win. But that's what we'll be working on in training this week. I did feel that in terms of how the squad prepared, even the pouring rain on Wednesday, you could tell that there's an edge, that there's more leadership coming out from our players. The players are driving a lot of what we're doing in training, so that'll have to happen next week, and we'll have to have the players driving our performance in those 80 minutes.
Greg, you mentioned you're hoping that Xander might be past fit to train this week.
Yeah, well, he trained last week, so he did all that was asked of him. So we did live rugby on Wednesday, and he was a big part of that. We just managed his minutes. So I think I said on Thursday that Xander's actually done more training than Rory Darge up to this point, but Rory had a really good session on Friday, and I was watching him closely, so I think he's going to be passed to train fully next week. He's not been out as long. At Elliot Miller Mills, looks like he'll be past fit to train next week too, so I'm hoping that we have a full squad to select from, whether we do it on Sunday night or Monday night. But that looks the case at this point in time.